Hey girls, does your morning ever feel like this? On packing lunches for kids in the morning, that just makes me feel like I'm going to completely collapse right here in the kitchen. But really, no matter if you're packing lunches for your kids or if your kids are packing lunches for themselves, I have some great tips and also non-sandwich lunch ideas. In today's video, I'm going to teach you all about a system I have in place for a reoccurring weekly menu to help take all the stress and planning out of your lunches. I'm going to show you what that looks like in our family and give you ideas to help you and your family come up with your reoccurring menu. You're going to learn the easiest way to save money on your lunch supplies. I'm going to share with you a secret on what you can do the night before so there's minimal stress the next morning before school. I'm going to share with you all the lunch packing supplies that we use. It's not that many, it's really easy, but they're useful. And last but not least, I'm sharing tips with you guys to help tackle those picky eaters. We've all got them. So you're definitely going to want to stick around. Welcome back, I'm Brittany, and this is Pennies into Pearls, where you can come for inspiration and tips and step-by-step guidance to help you live the best life you can for you and your family, all without stressing about money. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button if that's something that you need. Before we dive in, I want to thank Fetch Rewards for sponsoring today's video. They're an amazing app, one of my favorite cashback apps that makes saving money on lunches so easy. Fetch is an amazing cashback app where you earn points every time you go to the grocery store. And you guys know that it's one of my favorite apps because they make it so easy. You just go do your shopping, then you upload your receipt into the app simply by going into your Fetch Rewards app, taking a picture of your receipt, and you earn points instantly right away every time you upload a receipt. And those points add up so quickly, and you can claim those points for rewards like gift cards to restaurants, aka let's think date night. That's my plan for my next reward. Movie theaters, stores like Target or Lowe's or Home Goods, they have so many different options for you to claim your points as a reward. And they have an option for uploading your mobile or grocery pickup receipts. So how awesome is that? You can still earn rewards even if you do your grocery pickup and order your groceries online. You can earn points on hundreds of different brands. On a regular basis, I'm earning points on some of our family's favorite brands like Kraft, Townhouse Crackers, or Oscar Mayer. I have a link down in the description for you if you want to try out Fetch Rewards. It's completely free, and use this referral code when you're signing up. All right, let's dive in. I'm gonna help you figure out those easy lunch ideas for your kiddos. My first tip for you guys today is to create a reoccurring weekly menu. And all that means, all these tips are simple, but it's those simple things that sometimes we forget to apply to our daily lives, and when you do, it just relieves that stress. This is the first thing. So we have 5 different meals that we do for lunches for the kids, and we do those 5 different ones pretty much every single week. And none of them are sandwiches. So I'm going to share with you what we do, and then I'm going to give you some other ideas to kind of help spark your creativity when it comes time for thinking about those 5 meals that you can do for your kids. So for our family, the 5 meals that are on rotation every single week would be bagels and cream cheese, chicken nuggets, rolled tacos, a DIY Lunchable, so that's just like meat, cheese, and crackers that I pull together way cheaper, and quesadillas. So every single week, it looks the same. One day they get bagels, one day it's rolled tacos, one day it's quesadillas, and on and on and on for the 5 days, and then the next week it's the same 5 meals. So I want to challenge you. I know you can do it. You can find 5 different things, or maybe even 4, and you double one of them during the week, but you can find 5 meals that your kids will eat across the board. Keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it. We're just talking main course here. I'm gonna give you some ideas for sides in a second. So here's some more ideas that you might wanna try out with your family. You could try out cutting up hot dog or sausage bites, heating up some pasta, making homemade mini pizzas. You could do that on like a flatbread or an English muffin, even leftover pizza. You could do a salad. Now, don't write this one off. My daughter, and I'm giving you tips later for picky eaters, but my daughter has come to love salads and will choose that over many other meal ideas. Lunch meats wrapped around string cheese, just tie it up with like a toothpick. Mac and cheese. You could do waffle and pancake dipper and give them a little bit of syrup as a dip. And don't forget those leftovers. I'm gonna talk about packaging your cold foods and your hot foods in a second. Now my next tip is a way to help you mix it up. So it might sound redundant having the same 5 things every single week for lunches, but the way that you can mix it up a little bit is with the sides. Now sides, I'm talking about fruits, veggies, crackers, and maybe a little sweet treat. In our family, this is kind of how I've been doing it. I have the main meal, so maybe that's a bagel and cream cheese. Then I give them either a fruit or a vegetable. Then I give them some sort of cracker or maybe some popcorn, and then they have a sweet treat. Before we go any further, I'm not claiming to offer my children the healthiest, most organic meals, okay? We're just doing the best we can over here, and I know you're doing the same. All right. I think we're good. So here's some ideas on different side items you can mix it up with your kids' lunches. Muffins, fruit, veggies, and a lot of times I'll put ranch with the veggies, a hard-boiled egg, maybe some fruit snacks, crackers, sliced cheese or cheese cubes. You can make up your own cereal trail mix, yogurt, or you could do Go-Gurts to make it really easy for the kids. And then maybe doing something like chips and salsa, or you could do guacamole cups. Now the best way I'm finding to do this is to stock up on these different items when I find a really good deal. And that is where Fetch Rewards comes into play. Another tip I have for you when you're packing those side items is making some of those sweet treats at home. So a lot of times I will earn rewards points on some of my baking items like marshmallows to make homemade Rice Krispie treats, and you can earn rewards on those brands as well. Now let's talk about prepping the night before. That is when you're gonna wanna get as much of your lunch prep out of the way. So for example, when I'm doing things like homemade Lunchables, that takes a little bit of prep work. So I just chop up the cheese into bite-sized pieces, same with the meat, and make sure that I have my crackers all aligned. So that way in the morning when it comes time to assemble the lunches, it's really easy. Mama, we all know that the unexpected things happen in the morning. Somebody got syrup in her hair, somebody can't find his undies, things like this add up. And the less you have on your plate in the morning, the less stress you're gonna have. So prep the night before. Now let's talk lunch prep supplies. This year we started using the bento box. I think it's maybe Bentgo. Bento? I'm gonna say bento. The bento box. I don't know what it is, but it's made life so much easier. So that's been one of my favorites. We also use those thermos jars. I'll have links for all these supplies down in the description box. So this is the thermos jar we use. The lid comes unscrewed. You can put hot water in it and then dump the hot water out, dry it out, and then put your hot like soup or pastas in here. So those are the only things we use, and we use them for hot and cold foods. So in the bento box, it's easy if everything's cold, you just put it in there, and then I put an ice pack in the lunch box right next to the box. If I'm putting hot foods in there, maybe like chicken nuggets or rolled tacos, sometimes what I'll do if it's a colder day is I'll put a little bit of aluminum foil underneath it just to help insulate just that little compartment on its own. Otherwise, if we're doing things like pastas or soups, I'll put them in the little thermos jar, and that'll help keep it pretty warm until lunchtime. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, picky eaters. I'm gonna challenge you to not give yourself excuses. A lot of times our picky eaters are because of the way that we are letting them act, right? Oh, it's so hard to admit that, but let's be honest, they're picky because we let them be picky. My kids have gone through like ups and downs with being picky. A lot of times when we're out and about, I give in to their pickiness a lot more because I don't want to have to deal with it like in a public setting. But here at home, I'm pretty hardcore, and I've got some tips for you guys to help avoid those picky eaters. If your kids absolutely are refusing to eat their veggies and their fruits, I've got a solution for you. I can't remember if I was gifted this way back when Kennedy was a baby, so like 8 years ago, or if I bought it at Target, but I will link the book right here. There's a cookbook. It's called Deceptively Delicious. It's by Jerry Seinfeld's wife, and she has all the recipes in there where you can hide your veggies and hide your fruits, and your kids don't even know that they're eating them, so you can sneak them into their meals. One piece of advice that I've been given from our kids' pediatrician for the last 8 years is even if your kids aren't into eating their veggies or aren't into eating their fruits, keep offering it. So a lot of times I try to remember to have a fruit or a veggie in the kids' lunches, and 99% of the time my boys won't even touch it. And now the hard and fast rule for picky eaters is that I don't give them an option. Sorry kids, you're gonna eat what mama gives you. That's right, I don't give them options. I stick to those 5 things. I know that my kids mostly like it, and sometimes they'll fight me, like maybe Oliver will be like, I don't like rolled tacos. And I'm like, kid, you've eaten them before. I know you like them. So that's where I'm a little bit lenient. I'm not gonna send them to school with a pile full of broccoli. Let's be realistic, but we're realistically sticking to our guns. And the truth is that they are not going to starve to death. A lot of times my kids will go hungry until the next meal because our rule is if you don't eat your meal, you don't get snacks in between. That's gonna help them stay hungry, so when the next meal comes around, even if it's not their favorite meal or they think it's disgusting, they will put nourishment into their body because they are not going to wither away and die. It works. You can do it. All right, those are my ideas and tips to help you make easy lunch ideas for your kids' school lunches. I would love to chat with you guys down in the comments about what are kind of some of your regular go-to lunch ideas for your kids' school lunches. And you pearls, make sure that you're reading those comments for even more ideas to help you pick out those 5 solids that you're gonna put on repeat and help make life a lot easier for you. Thanks you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.